Hello everyone, welcome you all for this episode of Startup Stories. My name is Guna, I'm a startup coach and the author of the book Startup Recipe. And as you know, we are bringing a lot of entrepreneurs in this show and we are getting a lot of insights from their own success stories. And today we have a special person in this episode of Startup Stories, Jenslyn Vinod, founder of Farm to Own. Actually, native is Kanyakumari, and she completed all the studies there, and she got campus placement in HCL Chennai, and that's the reason she moved to Chennai. And after moving to Chennai, she worked in HCL for 2 years, and after marriage, she resigned the job, and she was busy with the family. And after a few years, she started her own dream business, that is homemade organic foods business called Farm to Own. In just 2.5 years, today she has got 211 different homemade organic products. And also now she has got 14,000 plus clients. So we are going to learn more from Jenslyn's story so that you can get a lot of insights which will help you for your own business when you start. So let's hear it more from Jenslyn. Welcome Jenslyn for this Startup Story show.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me in this show. So, hi everyone, this is Jenslyn Vinod, founder and CEO of Farm to Home, a Mom's Promise, an organic home-based food brand.
Thank you. Thank you. And as you heard it right, mom's promise, yes, because they don't use preservative, they don't use any other chemical. That's why it is called pure homemade, and it's a mom's promise. They are promising to all the moms. And Jenslyn, and I know that you had 14,000 customers in just a span of 2.5 years. But we want to know how did it all started in the beginning? Like when you have decided about starting your own business, how did it happen? Because a lot of women want to become an entrepreneur, but they don't become just like that, right? So how it all started after HCL, after a break, how you started this business? Can you just share about that?
Yes. So I would say it started when I was 10 years old. So I started cooking by the age of 10 years old. My mom is a good cook and I inherited a lot of cooking skills from her. So I'm a kind of person who always believe that the food we eat can build us or it can destroy us. So whenever my dad gets some products from shops and all, I always have the habit of reading the labels in it. So whenever I read it, I came across a lot of code words like E401, 412. So when I started researching what it is, I came to know like there are a lot of preservatives, additives, artificial flavors, colors going into each and every food that we get from the market. So right from that age, I used to ask my mom, is there any kind of replacement for all these things? Why we should get into all these kind of chemicals without any need? From that time itself, my mom and me, what we both used to do is we started experimenting a lot of things like jam, noodles and all. My mom used to do it like in Tamil we will say idiyappam, right? So that thick version of idiyappam she will make, and she will cut the veggie, she will add her own masalas and she will make it for us. So that kind of impact was always there in me. So so always we used to make lot of experiments in this kind of things. Then as I grow up, studies and all those things, and I didn't get much of time to concentrate into it. So I got placed in HCL, and I'm an Anna University rank holder also. So when I got placed in HCL, I worked there for 2 years. But somewhere, something was inside me telling that I have to do something different. This is not the right place for me. So I was in a situation to resign my job post delivery, and after that, I when I had my kids and all, I started making. I have never given any kind of packed foods for them. We never prefer all those kinds from the shop. So I used to make all those things in home itself. So when I used to make for them, my friends, my colleagues, and all, when few people started asking me, why don't you do this for us also? So one few of my friends told like, this is a very good thing you are doing. So when you can do it for a bigger circle of people, it will be of great help for a lot of working women, especially because they don't find time to do all these kind of things. And I always believe that entrepreneurship is nothing but when there is a need in a society, we are providing a solution and we are getting paid for that. So that is what we call as entrepreneurship. So one fine day when I was discussing the same with my husband, time, he told me like, okay, you know this very well, right? So let us go ahead, and I will be there. Whatever comes your way, I will be there to support. So when we have someone to support unconditionally, at that point of time, simply it was a fine Sunday, I hope. On that day, we just randomly we hope we discussed like, okay, we are gonna use organic products for all our food products we are going to make. So we named our business as Farm to Home. We created a Facebook page and also a WhatsApp group where we added all our relatives, friends, and all those known people into the group. And we started in a very, very small scale, like with 10 customers and a very few products, like 5 to 6 products. Then we never imagined that Farm to Home will have this much of growth, and it's unbelievable for us. And in 2.5 years, we have reached around 14,000 clients across the globe, and we are making 211 homemade products. And that too, all our products are made without preservatives, additives, artificial colors, and all those things that are very healthy and very helpful for a lot of helping mothers out there. So that is what Farm to Home is all about.
Awesome, awesome. It's great to see that, give a glimpse of the whole journey right now. And from just 10 customers to 14,000 customers in 2.5 years is something is not easily possible. And we all know that. And since you started this business in the domain of, in the industry of organic foods, there were already a lot of people selling organic foods. There were shops selling organic foods. Even now we see this organic oils becoming quite common in all these supermarkets, etc. So when there is a market which is already flooded with organic products, whether they do organic or not, people started calling themselves as organic. When already a lot of people were there, when you started, what kind of different challenges you faced in the beginning stages of your business?
The thing is, like, I was very particular that we are, as you said, we can find organic shops in every nook and corner. And in Chennai, in cities like Chennai, it is very common thing. And whenever we go to an organic shop, what we get is like, we get cold pressed oils, we get raw materials like millets and all those things we will get, but we don't find any kind of end products in organic shops. So what we decided is, we should not be like it's another organic shop. We should be able to provide proper solutions. People should be convenient in using our products. So that is the kind of thought what we had. And we never sell all these kind of oils or raw. We are not selling raw materials, but we are selling end products. That too, like noodles, jam. So these are kids favorite, but a lot of people won't get this preservative free, additive free kind of things in the market. So for that reason, people come to us. So when I say junk food, we have healthy replacement for a lot of junk foods that are available in the market, right from noodles, jam, health drinks. So we make products with whole grains, pulses, cereals, nuts, and all those kind of things without adding any kind of preservatives and all those stuffs. So for that reason, people keep coming to us. So for that reason, Farm to Home is different from any other organic shop that sells organic products. So we are into a completely different line of products. So that is how we differ from others.
Different vertical of giving them finished products that actually help you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, yes.
And now what I want to know from you is what kind of different challenges which you faced when you started this business, because you want to start something new. It is not like when somebody is doing it in the market, then if you're going to do the same, then it's easy to understand. But this is something new where others are not doing. When you started this, what kind of challenges you had in bringing into a business?
Yes, every time it is always difficult to build up a brand from the ground. It is a very, very tedious task. And initially, it was only me who was into it. Today, we have 10 plus employees who are working for us. But initially, it was only me, right from processing the food, then packing it, couriering the consignments, for everything. I used to do it all alone. So the biggest challenge was I was not able to manage the work in life. Work-life balance was not there. Even though my husband was supportive, he used to go to his office and he helps me after his office hours. But still, with 2 kids at home and managing a business is very, very difficult. I hardly have slept for 1 or 2 hours in the initial 6 months and all. There were a lot of sleeping nights and all those things. And my little one was just 2 years old at that time, and I used to carry him, and I don't know driving also, so I have to walk all the way to courier the consignments by. So those days were very, very hectic and highly challenging, but something that when we have the passion inside us, right, we don't find all these as challenges. I never seen them as difficulties, and I never asked I always used to see, I always see something like a challenge in rather than a problem. So when we see something like a challenge, you will automatically get that enthusiasm to face it and come out of it. So initial 6 months was highly, highly hectic for me, but the orders also started coming in. It was rapidly increasing every day. And after that, we slowly started hiring people. And today we have 10 employees for us. And initial days, this was the kind of struggle. I was not able to orders everything. That was not an issue. And also the other thing is customer queries. So being a startup, building the trust is very, very important, because just like that, they cannot even come and see the products. Just through WhatsApp, I used to communicate with them. They don't know who I am, and actually that trust factor is it is mutual, because just by seeing a Facebook page and coming and buying the products is a very, very huge thing. So I always keep it in my mind that we should never do something harm to that trust they are building on me. So that is the way I used to put a lot of effort into, right from cleaning each and every ingredient. So it's not like store bought ones. We used to clean each and every ingredient. We used to sun dry it, dry roast it, powder it. So each and every step is taken care with utmost done with utmost care. So that is how it is. So challenges in the sense, initial days was the amount of work I had to manage was quite large, but I never gave up, because seeing the response and the love from the customers, I never wanted to give up. And that is the reason why today we have built as a very huge brand today. So that is how it is.
Nice to hear that the process which you follow, and to make sure the customers are always happy and all these queries are answered. And I'm actually coaching a lot of startups and aspiring entrepreneurs, and I also have a lot of women entrepreneurs who were working in corporate companies and now wanted to come out and start. And I also have a lot of moms who want to actually start after kids. They left their job or they took a complete break. They are in a different world right now, but they always have this aspiration inside to become an entrepreneur. But with that, what they also have is they have a lot of fear, a lot of hesitation, whether I can start something, will it work, will I be able to balance my work and life and kids and the family. So a lot of things are running in their mind, because of which they are not getting started. They have all the talent, they have all the they know something, because like you were good in the cooking and organic products. Each and everyone has something, but something is stopping.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think they should also come into entrepreneurship, and what will be your advice for those women entrepreneurs who are thinking about starting a business but not taking action? What is your advice, and what do you think?
I always believe the only thing that can stop you is you. When you come out of your comfort zone, because whenever we are into our comfort zone, we don't know what kind of things are waiting for us when we come out of that comfort zone. So it is always advisable to come out of the comfort zone and take some risk whenever you have a strong passion towards something. So the passion is something that drives you from in. So when you know that this is your passion, and you are very, very strong about it, and when you have the good amount of confidence that you can do it, then there is no nothing wrong in taking it up as a challenge in doing it. I always used to ask why. I never feel like why me. I always think why not me. That is the kind of thing I always used to think, because whenever customers come up with for example, a rose beet syrup. So when a customer came and asked me like, can you make some replacement for rose milk, artificial rose milks that are available in market, because that is a favorite of lot of kids, but we are giving it without we are giving with lot of difficulty, it has artificial colors and all those things. Why can't you come up with something for that? So I took it up as a challenge, and I tried it for around 22 times. So I got the right recipe at the 22nd time with rose petals, beetroots, and all those things. I never gave up. So it was a struggle for nearly 2 months. Every day, every alternative day, I used to write down the proportions. I used to work it out how to make it, because we have to balance the aroma of beetroot, the rose petals, and if the beetroot smell is also dominant, people won't like the product. So when you have some passion and when you believe in yourself, the only thing you stop that is stopping you is yourself. So you have to come out of the comfort zone and you have to do something that you have belief in. So when you do that, things we can go forward, and things will fall in place at the right time. So that is what I always believe, and that is what I am doing today. So like a lot of women think that after pregnancy, after having kids, their world is only beyond the four walls. But if I have thought that way, I wouldn't be invisible to these many of people after 2 point this just in 2.5 years. So I always believe, rather than being a frog inside a well, let us come out and see what the challenges are there, and let us face it. So that is how it is, and that is why Form to Home is here today. So that is what I believe. Believe in yourself and do it with all your heart. That is it.
Thank you. Thank you. And I feel why a lot of women are not starting is more than comfort zone, more than all the reasons which you mentioned is there. Additionally, what else they also have is they are also worried about their failure. What if I fail in my business? If I start something, if it didn't go well, what will my family think? What will my friends think? What will the society think? I think this mindset is also there. They are not ready to experiment. They want to make it sure it should be a success. So I will wait and I will perfect it and I'll then start. But it's not something which we can make it perfect and we can start, right? So what will be your advice for people who think, what if I fail? And that's the reason which is stopping them. They don't want to fail. They're not starting.
Yeah, even I also face the same thing, because even my family members, my friends and all started asking me, why are you into trouble? Are you having any personal issues? Why you started making sattamavi and all? Because they look like you are an engineer by profession, and you are making sattamavi. They themselves, I regularly used to get called, do you want any financial support? Are you into trouble? I used to say, no, that is not that. I wanted to do this. This is my passion, and so I'm doing that. So when we start something, there will be a lot of people around us talking different stories and all those things. But concentrate, believe. All that we have to do is you have to believe in yourself. ஒரு வாட்டி பண்ணி பார்க்கிறதுல தப்பு இல்ல. Even if we fail, it will be a lesson for us to start something else. That is all about it. So rather than trying something and sitting and worrying about things, better let us take a step and try something. And even if we fail also, that will be a lesson for us to do something else. So that is what I always believe. But there is nothing like failure and all. When we put our heart and soul into something, that will be definitely a successful thing. That will never fail. When we put all our effort into it, hard work always bear fruits. So don't worry thinking like, if what will people around me talk if I fail. So there will be always a set of people. Even if we succeed, even if we fail, there will be always people commenting things about us. So just lend deaf ears to them. Concentrate on what you want to do. Believe in yourself. Believe what your passion is, and try working on it. So that one day you will definitely see the results, and you will be there where you wanted to be. So that is what I just wanted to say.
Thank you. And the reason why I am doing this series of interviews is I have a lot of people inside my coaching, and also a lot of people are following me where they want to start a business. I'm actually I have published a book. I have published an online course. I'm giving a lot of content based on which they can start a business. But the reason why I do this interviews is when they see a real entrepreneur who's coming in this show and saying that I started small. I didn't add anything when I started. I didn't add that clarity. I didn't add that perfection. But still I started, and at every step I just modified, and that's how I grown in my business. This actually comes from a real entrepreneur that will reach to them, because they are always thinking I should have something, some great knowledge or some good family background with entrepreneurship background.
Exactly.
I should have some special skills which should be there in my DNA from birth. Only then I can become an entrepreneur. This interview show to them that there is nothing like that. Every successful entrepreneur started small. They actually don't know where they are going. They just started and then they reached this level. I think this particular interview will again insist that point because your story is inspiring. Now, what I want you to share is, any business when we start, we don't know how to do, so we will do a lot of mistakes, and later we understand, okay, I shouldn't have done this, I shouldn't have done this. So now if you see back, you may see, okay, these are some mistakes which I could have not done. Maybe in 2.5 years I would have reached better heights, or I could have avoided this. Like that, any mistake as an entrepreneur. So as a new startup, what are the different mistakes you did? Because this will help other aspiring entrepreneurs who are watching this show to keep in mind, so that when they start, they will be cautious about these mistakes so that they can avoid. Can you just mention few of mistakes?
As you said, Farm to Home was also started with just an investment of 2,500 rupees.
Wow.
That is what I had in my hands. Just with an amount of 2,500 rupees, I started Farm to Home. And with that 2,500, as our business expanded, I used to rotate the same amount of money. So we didn't invest anything into Farm to Home. So it was only 2,500 rupees. And today we are a company which makes around 60 lakhs per annum. So that is the amount of growth in 2 years. And I'm taking forward it as a women with 2 kids at home. So if I can do this, people with anyone can do it. So that is what I just wanted to say. And mistake in the sense, mistakes. I don't remember whether I have done any mistakes, and I have never regretted also. If I have done this, I wouldn't be here. That is nothing like that. I used to be very conscious that the only 2 things I believe is, we have to provide the best quality to the customers, and the second thing is, customer interaction is very, very important in any business. So when a customer come to us, as we are dealing with baby foods and all, they will be very skeptical about trying something new for their babies. So there are people who ask questions for days together, for 2 days, 3 days. At any point of time, we should not lose our patience. So I have replied people for 2-3 continuous days and all, and they will not buy the product also. But at some point of time, they will come back again, or they will refer some of their friends, like, see, there is a person who is doing this, you can go and avail their service. So that is the only 2 things I believe, and I have always been right in that track. One is quality, and second one is customer satisfaction. So that 2 things I always used to be very particular, that I should not make any mistake in these 2 categories. And so far it is so good. So hope in the future also I'll be very particular about it. So when we offer these 2 things, right, there is no chances of mistakes or anything in the business. When customers are happy, they definitely go and share it to around like their friends, their colleagues, their family members. And that is that. The word of mouth is the biggest advertisement any business can get. A customer's word of mouth is the biggest advertisement, and that is what I believe. And I am very proud to say that I have around 14,000 happy customers who keep on coming back and back again and again to us for buying things. So normally mistakes happen in quality and customer interaction, but when we put extra care into it, so it will be all fine. So in my case, I don't know whether I have done any mistakes or not, but this is what I believe, and I do. So that is
Awesome.
what it is.
Awesome. I think that's a right message for people who are starting, where focus on the quality and take care of your customers. Make sure they're happy, then everything will be fine. If you are doing any mistake in this, then that's going to be backfiring. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is, now you got experience. You're not the same Jenslin who started in 2018. Right? You're a different person with an experience of 2.5 years now. Now, if you have to start this farm to home business fresh from the beginning, like just think that you have all the knowledge now which you've got, but you're yet to start a business. What are the things differently you will do when you start it? If you have an opportunity to start a business right now, the similar kind of business, and considering you're not into farm to home right now, what things you will do differently with the knowledge which you got in the last 2.5 years?
Okay. Initially, like I was zero, and I had zero knowledge. I know how to make the products, but when it comes to packing and all, I had zero knowledge. I don't know what packing material to use. We don't know what is labeling. we don't have a business model also. Even today, I don't know what is my business model, because a lot of people used to ask me, what is your business model? I always used to say, give the best quality and the customers will come back to you. So that is what I believe. The only thing what I would say is, I might have done a better packing if I have started 2.5 years now. That is the only thing which was not that much attractive at the initial days. Other than that, the quality, everything remains same. Packing and all, we have improved a lot in this past 1 year. So it looks like a very huge brand when they get the pack, when they get a product, and the customer, as soon as they open the pack, whatever they used to tell, like it doesn't look like a homemade brand. It looks like something a very huge brand. So that is the kind of development we have made in our packing and all. So that was the only thing that we were lagging 1 year before. So now, if I have all these ideas, I'm starting fresh, means I might have put some extra care into this packing, labeling, all those steps. Other than that, everything would have been the same. Quality, that and all will be the same. So that is how it is.
I think we've got some great insights from your story. Now, what I want you to share is, as I already told you, a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs who want to start a business, who are about to start a business, are going to watch this video. And what will be your advice or tips or suggestions to all those people who want to start a business? They may be a student who just finished and fresher who want to start, or corporate employees who want to start, or moms who want to restart their career again to get into business and start something. It can be even somebody who retired and they want to start something. It can be anyone. But what will be your advice or tips or suggestions for people who want to start a business now?
Actually, what I believe is, age is no bar, whatever in whatever age group they may be, because a lot of people used to think, see, I'm 30 plus, now what I'm gonna do with by starting a business, I may get stuck. So the age is no bar. When you believe in yourself, anything is possible in this world, because we are seeing grannies and grandpas learning music in the year of 80, 85 and all, and recently in Facebooks and all, it was getting viral. So I always believe age is no bar. Just believe in yourself, and few birds are not meant to be caged. Just come out of that world, and you can see how colorful the other side of the world is. So I always believe that what is that, believe in yourself and the passion, and understand what your passion is. So when you have a passion, it will automatically drive you no matter what. So when you go to some work, you should be able to jump out of the bed and say, like, hey, I'm getting ready to work. So when I was working for HCL and all, I used to be very lazy to get out of the bed, and if I want to go to work, I used to be but that environment was that ambience was very sophisticated, and it will be like too good. But now I'm working in my kitchen only, but I will be very happy to get out of bed. I have to do this, I have to do that. So when you have that passion, when you figure out what your passion is, you can very well take the risk, and you can start a business, and you can see how it comes. And when you put all your efforts, when you put your heart and soul into it, it will be definitely a success. So you need not worry about whether it will go right or wrong. There is nothing that kind of thing. Just give a try and see how it works for you. So that is what I would that is what I did, because I didn't have any business plans. I didn't have any investment plans. I didn't have any roadmaps, nothing. I just started on a fine Sunday, and today we are here. So just I believe that I can do it, because I was very good in cooking. I was very good in doing different types of dishes and all. So I was like, I can do it. So that is believe in yourself, and you can definitely do it. So that is what I would say. Nothing else.
Thank you. And it's great to have you in this interview and sharing your story. Though it's a short interview, I think you have given a lot of power to all those who want to start a business, especially for all those moms who are thinking about starting a business. I think they will definitely get inspired by your story, and they'll definitely get into it. And for those who want to explore Gensling's products, you can just check www.farm, F-A-R-M-M and 2home.com. That's the website which they have launched. And I have to tell you one more thing. So far, the entire orders, the entire inventory management, the entire order tracking, everything was actually managed just by WhatsApp. And now, because they could not handle more customers, now they're getting into a website. And see, that's how they've started. They've started small. and they just used WhatsApp and Facebook, and now they're getting into website and other stuff. Well, so those who are watching, you can start from scratch with whatever you can, and then slowly grow. Don't think about something big. I have to become like this, become like this. You can't just become a big company in day one. And obviously, it will take some time. Zensulin is the best example for that, because in 2 years, can you reach 14,000 customers in a business? And we have a real story which we just heard from. Thank you, Zensulin, for coming here and sharing all the insights from your journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. It's my pleasure being here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. For all those who are watching this, I hope you got great insights from this particular episode of Startup Stories. Do share this video with all the aspiring entrepreneurs who want to start a business. That will definitely help them. I will get back to you with one another successful story of an entrepreneur in the next episode of Startup Stories. Thank you. See you.
Thank you.